Alright, this is either Testcast or Earworm, depending on whatever. I'm Logan. That's Connor. I was gonna say
Hello, I'm
Condor.
Connor.
That's Connor. And then Django.
Express yourself.
And Karita,
Oh,
whose name I won't pronounce correctly because she won't pronounce it correctly enough for me to learn how to say it.
it's fine.
Okay, well, I want to talk about the Power Rangers movie.
Alright.
What?
The Power Rangers movie. You're not aware of this.
I mentioned this a little bit and you jumped on it.
I've done research. Karita, you familiar with the Power Rangers? Yeah.
Yes, I do. I am.
Cool. Yeah, they're making a movie of loosely based on the very very first series, and
Right.
it looks bizarre as hell. It's
I bet.
it's to the point where the more I look at it, so I'm not sure where they're trying to go with it, where they're trying to aim their. I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but jump straight to the fucking costumes. Have you seen what Rita looks like?
I think the Power Rangers look like glittery gel pens.
That's quite. Yeah, I think that's quite an apt description. I don't know. I was looking at them this morning, looking in their armor, and it's kind of. I can't say I'm impressed. It kind of looks like a designer checked out Halo, Doom, and Crisis and thought, how can I make this look shit? Because they just look strange. So
Oh my god, I'm
the
just
slapstick
having a quick
Why?
look at them.
Why do the armors have boobs?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that one. But
That's the
that
worst
brings
thing.
that brings us around to Rita's costume. Have you seen what
The-
Rita Repulsa looks like?
I saw it, I forgot what it looked like.
I just. Yeah, it's just so fucking. Why do they feel the need to make her costume sexy? I'm not
Oh,
saying it is sexy. I'm saying they've
Christ.
tried to make it sexy.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, I can't decide whether she looks like she's about to transform into a fucking Megazord, or if they wanted. Maybe people weren't going to take her seriously based on what she looked like in the original, but I'm not sure if people are going to take her seriously looking like a model stripper. It's just bizarre.
Looks like a character from Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
or something like that.
and that's not exactly kid friendly either. And this
What
is where
this?
yeah, I mean, are they going to try and appeal to the original fans who were kids back when it was on? And it's like, look, we're a bit more grown up now, we're a bit more mature, but
The red one looks like Iron Man.
yeah, there's a bit of that in there as well, especially with the little blue lights in the center of their chests.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So
those
for
are gonna,
somebody that's sorry, as somebody that's never actually seen Power Rangers, is that the classic colours? Like that's the five colours that they started in the originals, or
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
and I'm not even going to go into why I think that's not necessarily the best thing either.
The thing that annoys me more than anything is the boob plates. I hate that in everything because it's gonna
Yep.
kill you.
Yep.
I totally agree, and it's all you
Might
have
as
to
well
do
not
is
wear
look
armor.
at, you have to look at real armor that women have worn throughout history, and they don't have boob plates because once you've put a huge fucking plate of metal on your chest, it actually makes no difference
It's called
in how it
sports
looks.
bra.
It's just I don't know.
Yes,
I mean, I'm not against that kind of more schlocky 70s, 80s fantasy artwork where, yeah, female barbarians are there in a fur bikini wielding a massive flail or something, and it's ridiculous, and that's why it's okay. It's not to be taken so seriously. It's kind of tongue in cheek. Male barbarians are stood there in speedos essentially, and nothing else, and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger on steroids.
It's like the armors
So,
would have
Like the
nipples.
one where Arnold Schwarzenegger was a barbarian. He wasn't on
Was it Conan the
steroids, but
Barbarian? Yeah.
yeah, he was in 2 movies as a barbarian.
yeah,
It
that
was,
was
but
him
do
at
you know what
his
I mean?
peak.
It's like you get that artwork, and it's a case of no human has muscles like that. If they did, they wouldn't be able to move. You're deformed, you know. That's not a accurate male image either. But there's a time and a
Yesterday-
place for that. It's that kind of. It's meant to be ridiculous.
Yesterday I learned
Um,
about the HGH gut,
The what?
the human growth hormone gut that you get
Okay.
if you take that. You'll get super muscly, but you'll also get just a gigantic belly. With it's
I've
like a
never heard of that
huge
side
fat
effect.
belly with abs on the end of it.
Okay. I need to
Oh
do
my
a.
god.
I need to do a Google on this one.
I
Well,
do
actually
not
makes
want
sense
to do
because
that.
when it comes to bodybuilding and stuff like that, there's like two types. There's the bodybuilding where they show
Oh
off their bodies,
shit!
and they're
Sorry.
trying to be as like muscly and good looking as possible, sort of thing, which is what like Conan the Barbarian kind of style. And then there's the actual weightlifters who are fat because it's beneficial to be a little bit fatter when you're doing like massively heavy weightlifting.
Right, yeah,
Sure.
it's like the people who do like the world strongman competitions. They don't look like the guys who do all the posing in their little banana hammock kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them
Yeah.
actually have a bit of a gut on them just because it's more beneficial for back strength and all that sort of stuff to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Thor Bjornsson.
He's
Yeah,
a
sure.
beast,
He's
that
the
dude.
that's the guy who's doing the mountain at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
That guy's a beast, and he's younger than me as well. That's the thing that's fucking weird about it.
Oh,
How old is he?
Christ.
This friggin' thing with the guts is really weird looking.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like, I mean, I work out. I want to, I want to be in decent shape, and part of it's a little bit of vanity, but that's not what you want to look like, surely. Fuck it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
definitely not.
yeah, that's me being kind of.
This is the
prejudiced
worst
and shit.
one. I'll link it or put it in the video or something.
We can find a way to
His
stick some
arms look
images up on a
so
video,
small.
can't we? It's a very odd pose to be. That's the other thing about that kind of bodybuilding as well. It's like the ways they stand, the ways they flex. To get the muscles to bulge in the right way. I mean, there's like the classic one of your two fists together, but then you look at something and you're just like, the fuck are you doing? It's like, well, you're just trying to show off as much as you can in one little movement.
He looks.
That's the thing with those
photoshopped.
competitions. The thing with those competitions where they're showing off their bodies, it almost looks so stupid that they should be making fun of themselves, but they aren't. They're being deadly serious. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Ow. I mean, yeah, I don't want to. If it makes them happy, and then there's plenty of people who are going to look at it and think that looks amazing. So,
Yeah.
fair play to
That's
them.
100% true. If you want to do that, then go ahead, but personally, not for me. I like burgers
Same.
too much.
Everybody likes burgers.
I don't like fucking my body up with weird chemicals to get that, because that's kind of what it seems like you need to do to an extent. There's nah. I'm going to
It's
start
like
saying
fucking
very
up your body with chemicals anyway.
dodgy things with no back and forth. So
Yeah,
there's
you're,
chemicals. There's chemicals, right?
you're using a bit different chemicals to fuck up your body.
The physical effects that a chemical like nicotine has on my body, it all happens on the inside. It doesn't change what I look like. Not for a while, at least.
But if you're going to
Doesn't
be
matter
taking a
what you
chemical,
look
then when
like,
you want
it's
it
what's
to
on the
look good,
inside.
Say again. One of you at a time.
Karita, go ahead.
I was saying, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's what's on the inside.
Well, they do say that, which means I'm fucked.
Yeah.
'Cause
Hi, I'm Tar.
I've met Tar. Tar moved in a long time ago.
Tar.
It's an alright roommate. Connor, you were saying?
To be perfectly honest, I can't remember what I was saying.
Fair enough.
I have a terrible short-term memory.
I empathize with that.
I can't.
We can do some kind of game that I brought up in like podcast or testcast or fucking whatever whatever
Let's do
thing it
it.
was. You know,
Yes,
Connor
I'm
I
happy
has
to
do.
do that.
It's
Connor
my turn
doesn't.
for my memory to be failing me. What?
They clearly
So-
haven't been listening to the previous ones.
What are you talking about, Karita? I've listened to every single one, and I didn't admit to that earlier.
I listen to them. I just listen to lots of things and do things while I'm listening to them.
Right. The reason I wanted this to be more of a discussion of how we're going to do the podcast is that if we want to put anything more structured in it, we should have a way to fit that in.
When you say fit it in, elaborate.
Segways?
Karita, you were talking about the games that we were doing, like the BuzzFeed thing.
Yep. Did you just call me Karita?
I believe you did.
Katya.
Shut up, play game.
So what that
Yeah,
was
so I think those games, depending on for how long we're gonna do it, I think it would be a great idea sometimes, not necessarily every single podcast, but like sometimes.
I think the idea of having a good daft game to play within the podcast is probably a good idea. It helps fill you a bit of time. You listen to a lot of popular radio stations, they'll have daft little games they play with, sometimes themselves, sometimes with callers in and shit. Rooster, you've got Good and Gavin.
Yep.
Looks a good idea.
Games are good for that sort of stuff, and they're good if there's a little bit of downtime in the conversation.
It does. And as I was saying, it does help you book the structure, because then you can kind of go, right, if we've got an idea of things you want to talk about, and then you have an idea, oh, we want to do this at some point as well, so what time do we start doing this? We know this will take this long. Okay, which topic should we cover at this point? What do we think we've got a lot to say about? Leave that a bigger gap.
Not even that necessarily, like,
You can
leave it
go as deep
organic,
as
but
you want with it.
just, it'd potentially help if we were to say half an hour in, let's try and work towards the game and try and segue into it. That might be a little bit better.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've just realized that I'm far better as an editor than anything else.
I realised that the other day as well when I put out that video.
I don't know.
And it's the funniest thing I've ever made.
It was good, I liked it.
Is it because I'm starring it?
Pretty much. It's Karita. For those that haven't watched it yet, I'm
I like
assuming
the Marvel
everybody
style
has.
ending.
I think we've all watched it. I've watched it. Watched it last night.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
assume that there's people out there that haven't watched it because this is about to go global, obviously. I made a
Of
video
course, yeah.
where Karita takes a lot of stuff and left for dead, and it ended up being quite hilarious, and I'm quite proud of it. So, yeah.
I liked it, and
Okay,
it was the dual part. I mean, obviously, Karita, it was perfect. I wish I'd been there. But it's the editing, and it's the words for this, but you catch each moment perfectly, you know? You're
I
not
will
sat
admit,
watching it, waiting to see the next bit that the video is actually about. It's just, working it with the counter, with the quick cuts between all the moments, totting them all up at the end. No, really well done.
Yeah. I will admit, and this is in Karita's defense, a lot of those, there's one or two that were counted twice just because she said it twice, and there's a lot of other stuff that makes it sound a lot worse, but it ended up being a great video, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah. Also,
It's
you
the
all
shit you
took
learn Go, talk.
you all took
So I was
a
gonna-
lot of stuff. Good to Django.
Talk, go on.
There was a
You
lot of
too.
stuff.
A lot of. Fuck it. I'm not
I'm going to be
saying that.
silent.
kidding me?
Someone, get whatever you got off your chest.
No.
Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red.
That's the first thing you think of.
If that's what you got to get off your chest, man, you've been spending too long in Skyrim. That song will haunt you.
I haven't even played it
I
in
have
quite a while.
killed bards. I have killed bards for that song.
I don't really kill many people in Skyrim.
I don't
I
like going around
only-
and just killing innocents for no reason. However, starting a bar fight in Skyrim is so rewarding.
Well, I don't
Just
kill people
sit at the bar,
without
get pissed
saving.
drunk, wait till the bard or some person passing you by says something arsey and just cut their fucking head off. Then watch what happens. It's brilliant.
I only kill people for the name of Dark Brotherhood.
Well, that's because you're twisted, cold-blooded killer.
I'm coming for you.
I believe it.
So, 3 things that we did are, well, 2 of them are sort of the same thing as Not the Onion, and then Clickhole or BuzzFeed, and also something that I kind of wanted to do, I don't think we really got around to it, was reading The Eye of Argon.
The Eye of
Oh
Argon.
yeah, that one.
Is the Eye of Argon? Is that terribly written
Yeah,
fan fiction? And it's the game.
it's not even a fan fiction. It's just a book that the guy wanted to write. It got published in a fanzine.
I'm sure I've heard about it being like a game that people play at conventions on panels and everything.
It's pretty
Try and read
amazing.
this. What's
We
not the
can
onion?
do that.
What?
Not the onion. I mean,
Not
I know what
the
the onion
onion.
is.
Is things that are not the onion.
But
Like
that you believe could
onion-like things.
What you do is you
but-
open up /r/the onion and /r/ not the onion.
be.
I
Right,
liked
it's
it.
a guessing game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Clickhole or BuzzFeed.
I don't know BuzzFeed.
Clickhole's run by the onion, and BuzzFeed is actually real
Ah,
and terrible.
Eh,
fair enough. I get this. I understand now.
like
So
this
Logan,
one
as Logan, as executive of this podcast right now, are we going to play a game now, or are we going to talk about more stuff? Because I have some stuff I want to talk about, but I'm happy to play games as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, before the podcast started, about 5 minutes before, Logan made a joke about the Tinder movie, and I assumed he was being very comical, and it turns out it's a real thing that's happening.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
These are all things that I just saw headlines for, and then you guys went and did more research.
Well,
Did
I
you see-
immediately looked it up because I thought it was a complete joke, because that can't actually be a movie. It turns out it is, and it's
I mean, if I
a love
said-
story, but still.
They are actually making it then. It's not the RT spoof that they did.
Yeah, I
I
googled. I
I
googled
did,
Tinder
and the first
movie,
thing
and
that came
first
up was
thing.
the RT
Yep.
spoof.
Yep.
'Cause
Same.
that's probably a better thing.
It's a Warner Brothers movie which is titled Worst Tinder Date Ever.
Okay, well they're starting optimistic, aren't they? They're really selling it. I mean, what's it going to be, like a rom-com that
the-
revolves around the meeting through Tinder?
Yep.
The basic plot line
Sounds
from this
racist.
article that I've had a quick look at is that it's a terrible Tinder date, and then throughout the course of the movie, the characters end up getting together. So it's
So it's
pretty
similar
generic.
on
Rom-com
Tinder,
then.
and then the plot of a romantic comedy happens. The romantic
Yeah.
comedy plot happens.
I mean, aren't they?
Oh my god.
I don't watch rom-coms. I don't watch movies about dating because it's not something I ever fucking do.
Have
It
you
has no-
seen a
relative to
single
me, but-
romantic comedy?
I
I've
haven't.
seen stuff. I've seen Shaun of the Dead.
Ah,
Shaun of the Dead is a
well,
romantic
not
comedy.
quite.
It's just masked with zombies. But
It's-
that's a whole nother topic.
Okay.
No,
I actually haven't seen it in long enough, so I can't disagree with you.
we'll do that one another time.
Wait, did I say I haven't seen it in long? Ah, fucking whatever.
I word salad all the time. Don't worry about it. Yeah, what's I going with that? Because isn't that the plot of rom-coms? Is that it's about a terrible period of courtship where people do things that no normal person would or should do when they're trying to show someone they love them, and they do these bizarre, strange, creepy fucking things, and then they fall in love at the end, despite all other logic. Shit, I saw Wedding Crashers. And Wedding Crashers was an awful, awful film about awful people.
Suddenly you realize you've seen a lot of rom-coms.
Oh my god.
No, I really don't think. I mean, I'm
What have I
thinking
become?
I'm thinking of, like, name some famous rom-coms for me. Help me out here.
I don't know. Don't
No,
watch
I don't know.
rom-coms.
Name some.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
Uh, You've Got Mail.
Heard of
Just
it. never seen it.
naming movies with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Can't think of any.
Neither of which I've seen.
Would Titanic count? I've seen Titanic.
No.
Titanic
It's
would
not
not be a
very
comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, yeah. That
Well,
says a lot about me,
when
I
the
guess.
one guy
Unless
falls
you're
and
Django.
bonks his head on the
Fucking what's this,
It's a
road
comedy
trip?
to me.
If you watch Titanic and go, that was hilarious, you've probably got a couple of issues.
Well,
I have a therapist. For
we're
that.
talking. Yeah, we're talking about Django here.
No. Let's not talk about Django. Let's talk about what were we talking about? The Tinder movie.
I would like to just state that the Tinder movie is now not the worst movie I've seen tonight. They are also making an
saw it?
emoji movie. Well, I haven't seen it, but seen the pitch. They're making a child's movie that's based around emojis.
Oh my god.
How do you
suppose
do,
it's-
fellow kids?
It's probably gonna be
Basically,
short
it's
most
it's
films.
going off the whole minion craze, and Just
Fucking
that's shocking.
minions.
Right, okay, so we're going to get like some anthropomorphic personification of bouncing smiley heads.
Pretty much, and this is the era we live in, and it's horrible.
Yep. It sucks.
Karita, you sounded like you had some nasty things to say about minions.
I fucking hate minions.
The minions
So
are
much.
horrible.
It's just, oh god.
I don't know, like, I mean, because I saw Despicable Me ages after it came out, watched it with my ex. The minions were the best thing about it, I think.
No, but
Yep.
that's 100% the case. The minions
Yeah.
are excellent in Despicable Me.
Yep.
They are hilarious and they're the comedic kind of value in that movie. But as soon as they became a popular thing, it just went,
Yep.
it spiraled out of control and it's been terrible.
Yep.
Well, a couple of months after I saw it, I got a temp job in a greetings card shop. And we sold balloons and mugs and all kinds of shit that can be branded with whatever people fucking love at the time. I very quickly came to hate minions.
Yep.
They're a marketing genius. Like it's an absolutely brilliant move on whoever made that move. I'm assuming it was Sony. But it was a genius move because kids love stupid crap like that. But it's so annoying.
It's not just
Yeah.
kids though, mate. It's not. It's, you know, I'm a child at heart myself, and I just think it's just there's a lot of adults who are. I'm not even going to presume what goes through their head, but they look at it and they go weak at the knees. You know, my boss was a lady in her 50s, and she was just obsessed with minions.
God.
Yeah. There are some wacky people out there.
You know, I'm excited.
Like Django.
Yeah. I'm not out there though. I'm in here. I am doing a service. I stay in.
Okay, so talking about wacky things that are very popular at the moment, we have to talk about Pokemon Go.
Do
and I feel like Django's
do we-
gonna.
Yes.
Well, I feel like Django's gonna be on my
Yes.
side here. I've got to say that I'm absolutely hating the fact that it's so popular.
Okay, I've got to be
Fucking
careful with phrases.
hipster.
It's not that I hate people. It's not that I hate people enjoying something. I just everyone shut the fuck up about it for 10 minutes. Which
I
I get
agree
on
with
saying
that.
that after you've asked to talk about it. You know, it's I'm not saying shut the fuck up. It's just here's an example. I watched Matt and Jeremy did a stream of cunning stunts a couple of weeks ago. And
Yes.
I'll go on the stream, and everyone is just spamming the chat with questions, asking them about what they who have you caught. Well, who did Jeff pick as a starter? The same person asking who did Jeff pick as a starter. It's like, is Jeff even fucking playing? He hates Pokemon, you know. What
I want to be Jeff.
Well, that's
it's
my
just got
issue
to
with
the
the
point where I'm
game.
just like, look, you guys are enjoying this. That's cool, great, love it. But can you just ask them about GTA, or can you ask them about something to do with the streaming? Can we not have Pokemon Go for 5 minutes?
I agree with that. My
True.
issue with it is based on the whole Jeff thing. Is that people that have previously hated Pokemon and would actively mock it and tease people that played it are now probably some of the most active players of this game and spamming it everywhere and all that sort of stuff. And that's kind of aggravating for me because 6 months ago, someone playing Pokemon would have been ridiculed. So it's a bit ridiculous in that aspect for me.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I can kind of empathise with that. If you've been like trying to talk about it, you know, people talk about games, you're like, yeah, I love Pokemon. They're like, oh, Pokemon's fucking lame. And then they're just filling your feed up with everything about Pokemon Go. It's like, hey, well done.
I'd
Yeah.
just like everyone to know that I used to not like Pokemon, and I still don't like Pokemon.
You stand your ground on that one. Look, I love Pokemon. Always have. You know, basically everything Michael has said about it on Off Topic and everything. That's the same for me. I was pretty much same age, same experience, all of it. But all the spin-offs, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty much apart from Pokemon Snap, every single spin-off has just, it's not been great. You want the core Pokemon game and they're always great.
It's more the fact, but Snap was good because Snap was something completely different. You know.
Yes.
The mystery dungeon games, I haven't really played them, but they're pretty competent. They're pretty good because they're not. Pokemon Go, what you're doing? You're catching, you're battling, you're beating gyms, you hatch eggs. You can do those things in the main games, but you just do it on a much. It's not as good, is what I'm saying.
Well,
You get
I
too
like
much.
Pokemon
You know, what
Go.
the
I
fuck?
will 100% say that I like Pokemon Go. I don't like everything that goes with it, but I like the game because
Yeah,
it does.
me too.
It gives you that real world aspect of it, and it's cool to catch stuff in real life and have to move around.
Yeah.
It is very basic though, and it does need some improvements. Like the battling is a little bit lacking simply
Yeah.
because there's the thing with the battling is that there's gyms everywhere kind of thing at major places, but 99% of the gyms you run into are people that have played the game 24/7 for the first 3 weeks and have super powerful Pokemon, and there's no way you're going to beat them.
Yep.
I've
Also,
heard
the
that.
style of the battling is not like Pokemon style. You just click the screen as fast as you can, instead of like turn-based. Choose
Yeah.
the what's the
Pokemon
word?
is, and I only started actually getting more into the competitive side of it a couple of years ago when I found Showdown and shit. It is technical as hell. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, people say, oh, it's just the type. I've heard a lot of people denigrate it, saying, oh no, it's just a rock paper scissors, elemental rock paper scissors. No, it's not. That's not what it is at all. It's incredibly tactical and very tech. So yeah, to have it reduced down to a, and so this one I've got people telling me, oh no, Pokemon's lame, and now they're all over Pokemon Go. It's like, but you're playing a lamer version of it. It's not even
Yeah.
that you
Exactly.
like it now. That's cool. It's just that you're all shitting on it when it was a case of no. If you actually look into it, it's a really intricate. It's a very deep RPG. And now
Yeah,
you've got a
and-
very very basic version, and you're trying to tell me now it's good. It was always
Yeah.
fucking good.
And what I want is when you go find Pokemons, I want the actual Pokemon like battling thing where you get your Pokemon out, fight the wild one for a while, and then throw the ball instead of immediately throwing the ball and catching the Pokemon.
I was surprised that's not a mechanic in the game, because it is such a core mechanic in every single other thing.
Yeah.
And it'd be an excellent way to teach people how to battle, pretty much. Because you could have that real-time aspect of it, which would teach people how to do it, and then they could go and use those skills on the gyms. But
Yeah,
they
I
haven't used that
really,
for some reason.
really want that to become a thing on Pokemon Go. Obviously, it's still in like its first form, like it hasn't evolved yet. But
I get the feeling it might actually still technically be in beta. Like, I don't think it's
yeah,
been properly released yet.
yeah, I guess at this point they just want to test, like releasing it to many countries to see how the servers are gonna take it, how it's gonna work before actually like getting in some actual mechanics in the game.
That is one of the funniest things that I've seen come out of Pokemon Go, though, is that it started out in Australia, quickly moved on to America, it's now in Europe, and I believe it's just hit England properly. It's still not out in Japan.
Really, that is.
It's
out in
it
fucking
is.
Bosnia, you know.
Like, that's the thing, is that the way they've done it, I would have thought Japan would have been the first place
Yeah,
to
me
do it
too.
at all, before anybody else. Like,
Yeah. When you think of how many little Pokemon spin-offs they've done that have only released in Japan and nowhere else,
yeah.
well, not that many, but there've been some. Is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is a bit bizarre.
But
Bosnia has Pokemon Go, and this was a story that was in the news this morning. One of the Bosnia has got a lot of minefields
yes,
from their civil war. So the charity organisation, whatever they are, in Bosnia had put this big statement out asking kids to be very careful and make sure they're not straying onto minefields while they're searching for Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah, when you're getting that point, you're just like, the fuck? I don't.
that's pretty
I've heard
insane.
people doing some stupid things. You know, story about a girl walking out into traffic, story about someone falling off a cliff. I've not even bothered looking into them enough to know how true those claims. I don't know, but I can't believe that any kid who's grown up in Bosnia, no matter how much they love that game, is going to be dumb enough to walk onto an area that's probably got mines.
I took
Yeah,
a
that-
fucking Nick
You grow up in
2.0
a
over
country
here.
with minefields, you're going to know about it, you know.
I feel like you're really forgetting how stupid people can be, though.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
If there is a chance for people to
Those
get
people might be
hurt, they are
listening,
gonna.
Connor.
That's the thing. I don't know what the population of Bosnia is, but I'm sure that there's at least one person out there that just would go screw it.
Statistically,
Yeah.
there must be someone in Bosnia who is dumb enough to walk onto a minefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I'll agree to that.
But in saying all that, Nintendo, this is absolutely genius by them. Have you actually seen the kind of money they've made off this?
I've heard it's billions.
It is, as of a couple of days ago, I believe, it was released on July 6th, but a couple of days after that, it's doubled their market share, and they've made $30.7 billion from it.
Blimey.
It's
But
plunging at the
it's
moment for some reason. I think it's plunged 13% in the last day, but that's still an insane amount of money they've made off it.
Yeah.
it's tapping a hype. It's tapping a trend. People love doing shit on their phones. People love
Yeah.
daft. Look how Angry Birds did. Clash of Clans. That's one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you just look how well they did. It's a case of damn, gotta get some of that, get a slice of that. Because one of the things about those kind of games as well is that they're intended so that they're kind of perpetual. You keep playing them forever. They've not got an end to them. You just keep doing the thing over and over because you enjoy it, and that's the point of a game, really. But that means people look for a new one.
Yeah.
So Pokemon Go has overtaken like a couple of the main ones that have been in the limelight for so long. But well, how long before someone figures out a better one?
Yeah.
That's the
Angry
thing. It'll be
Birds.
exactly like Candy Crush, where in a month there'll be a core group of people that like it and will continue playing, but everyone else
Yeah.
will get over the fad pretty quickly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna guesstimate a time frame. I don't. Yeah, I'm rubbish at that kind of shit. But
I probably shouldn't say a month, but there will be a time period that I don't think will be terribly long that, yeah, it'll die out.
at some point next year, a lot of people will have to be reminded what it was.
I don't
Whether
know
it's
if
towards the end of the year or whatever.
I don't know if
I'm not
you
saying
guys
that, there'll
have
still be
it
loads of people playing
too,
it.
but Angry Birds did the same thing as Minions. They fucking stuck the fucking Angry Birds in every single thing. We have like Angry Birds candy, plushies. We have fucking theme park. Just Angry Birds everywhere. So
What's
yeah,
the thing about
finished.
Angry Birds though is that I don't think you can technically
Finished.
say it's sold out because it's something that's designed to sell, but it was always going to go down that path because it's that cute kind of crap that people love to jump on
Yeah.
top of.
But it's also the way it becomes a successful business model.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go's now announced that. Is it announced or there's someone said they found like clues in the code that pointed towards there's going to be promotional money-based tie-ins with places like McDonald's and shit. I
Yeah.
don't know how any of that works. Besides, and people complain about it. It's like, oh come on, that was going to happen, wasn't it? You've got like the free beta version, and in the future there will be. Yeah, it's going to be. It's an advertising. It's a money partnership deals thing. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that's not being cynical. It's just being realistic.
Well,
I'm gonna
that's the thing,
start talking
Nin-
again because I've become Nick
I-
2.0.
I think we could talk
Or
about
me.
Pokemon for a long time, even just Pokemon Go for a long time. But we should
I-
probably talk about something that Logan can talk about too.
Yes,
I-
let's move on.
Like,
and that wants to
God
talk
damn.
about. Maybe this is the good point to move into.
I hate Pokemon Go more than you do.
I'm sure you do. Well,
I have some more stuff we can
Maybe.
move on to if you prefer.
Fine.
Okay. I was interested to hear your thoughts on, I don't know how you would call this, but media in different languages, so like anime and like, say, Spanish movies and all that sort of stuff. Do you personally watch that kind of stuff with subtitles or just avoid it, or what do you do?
subtitles
Subtitles.
as much as possible.
When I watch
Subtitles?
anime, I watch it with dubbed and subtitles because the subtitles is directly translated.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
that's interesting.
Oh, do you mean you
I
both at once, or do you
Yeah.
watch both versions?
Yeah, I watch the dub with subtitles over it.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That way
See,
you get
when
both
it comes to
versions.
anime, for me, I've pretty much anything that's only in Japanese, I will just completely avoid because I personally don't like that kind of stuff. So I've only ever watched dubs. But I
I
watched
only
the
watch
movie
anime
today.
that has good dubs,
Yeah,
which kind
that's
of
pretty
limits.
much. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. But I was watching Pan's Labyrinth today, which is a Spanish movie which is quite popular, and I don't know if it was because it's Spanish and it's a bit easier on the ear than Japanese, but I actually enjoyed it and it was a pretty good movie. But I think that helped as well, was that it was a good movie, so it was good to watch.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that shots fired at Japan there?
When I
Fuck you,
was
Japanese
like
language.
12, I used to watch these television shows that were in Spanish that had just finished subtitles, and they were great because they were like, Spanish shows. They are full of drama, and
Yeah,
they were awesome. I used to watch them a lot.
well, and I should I'm not having a go at Japanese language or anything like that. I think it's simply that the Spanish language is a bit easier in the ear because it's similar to English, and you can pick out words that are the exact same. For example,
Could be.
I know. I disagree with that a little bit because there are some words in Japanese that don't. They're very honest about it. They never bothered thinking, let's create our own word for this thing that we've never had a need for a word for. We'll just say it how they say it, which I think makes Japanese sometimes wonderfully hilarious. When you've just got this very long, very excited stream of Japanese, and then suddenly one word that's basically in English, just with the accent or pronunciation.
yeah.
Maybe it's wrong of me, but that makes me laugh so much whenever it happens.
I mean, I guess
Uh,
it's Finnish has it too, because our language has a lot of borrowed words. So we have some words that are basically from English, but are said the Finnish way.
I mean, English is effectively a borrowed language. Every single word in English is stolen from some other language.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
You
everything
have to
in
admit
French
that
and
the
Spanish is
majority-
just taken from Latin.
Yeah,
English has got a
Latin
lot
is.
from French. Spanish has more. Their language is based more in Latin. I think it's like Romantic languages.
Yeah.
One of the categories that gets used for it. English has a lot from Latin. It's true, but it also has a lot from
German.
German, Northern Europe, Scandinavia, that part of the world. Because
Woo.
England's such a mashed up language because we got fucking invaded by everyone until about 1066.
Yeah.
And
Which
all
is
these
pretty
people-
much why speaking English is just an absolute mess half the time.
I manage it quite well. Well,
What is it? Is
Very
it
Me
you say
too.
buffalo 7 times in a row and that's a sentence?
technically that's Finnish, isn't it?
Eight times in a row.
8 times? I knew it was 7 or 8.
Does
Buffalo,
that to do
buffalo,
with, like,
buffalo,
the
buffalo, buffalo,
genus
buffalo,
and
buffalo,
everything?
buffalo.
It's
We
Oh, I
like
understand
also
that, yeah.
have
one than the other.
those kinds of things. So
Yeah, you
it's not
showed us
just
one
you.
of those, which was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful language. We have such good swear words.
Huh?
Our swear words are brilliant. I mean, I'm not saying they're the best. Everyone's got their opinion, but
Bollocks.
bollocks, twat.
Twat.
Twat is a fantastic word. I use that daily.
But also, it's just some of the invented. I mean, I saw one on
Why do Americans say twat?
because they're wrong. Like,
It fucking bugs me.
I'm not saying all Americans are wrong. I'm saying the ones who say twat. If you say twat, you are wrong.
I feel
Just
like saying twat just sounds so much more offensive.
Really? I think it
I
sounds
don't know.
offensive because they're not doing it right.
That's quite possibly the reason, but it just
You gotta
sounds so
really
much more
stress the
offensive.
T on the end.
Yeah, but it's the A as
Twat.
well. The A is important.
Yeah.
The A is the
That
most
will
important
always be
part.
one of my favourites.
It's
the
quite
invented
potentially
ones
my
as well.
favourite word.
One of our politicians, dumbass, in the wake of, he was one of the people leading the whole leave the EU shit, and in the wake of that, he put some statement out about how we need to negotiate a deal with Europe based on freedom of movement and trade.
Is that
So-
Boris or Nigel?
No, that's a guy called Michael Gove, and
Oh, he's
he
actually got
some
a
of the-
decent name.
Oh no, well,
I thought you said Michael Goat.
yeah, he looks a bit like a goat. But he got
Hey, if he's
some
anything like your last
superb
Prime Minister,
flack.
I'd be kind of worried.
I mean, the insults he was getting off people on Twitter were superb. Cockwomble. I think cockwomble is just such a wonderful combination.
I'm gonna say I'm not a fan of Finnish swear words because I feel like they're all too long. Having
You're
a quick
too
browse
long.
through them. Thank you, Karita.
Wow. Fucking got him.
Give us some
Well,
Finnish swear
that's-
words, Karita. I've only ever read them written down.
Huh?
I've only ever read Finnish swear words. Give us some examples.
Well, I guess the one I use the most is vittu, which is basically like cunt or
Karita. God.
See, I actually stopped myself.
There's children
before
watching
saying-
this.
Almost stopped myself before saying cunt earlier, and then Karita goes and drops it. 'Cause
well,
people get
I'm just
offended by cunt.
translating.
Oh, she's just translating, guys. It's okay. She can say whatever she wants.
That's
Yeah,
good. Every
fuck
language
you.
should have an equivalent of cunt because it's an essential word.
What else do I use? Well,
What's the
there's-
funny one that I like?
I don't know what you like.
Yet.
What? I don't know what you like.
I don't even know why this
Please,
is funny.
someone isolate
I'm-
these and rearrange them out of context.
I'm just gonna officially say right now that I apologize for anything said out of context.
Don't put that in. Leave that out.
I am not being creepy. We are internet married, so it's okay.
Because internet married is not creepy.
So what word do you mean? Do you want to like type it down or something? Oh,
Already done. This is my favorite
that
one.
It's
Yeah.
pronounced Ryugo Agateki Wakura.
See, that is why Japanese
From
is
the
such a good language
Overwatch.
to shout in.
This is the part of the video as well where Logan's gonna edit in the words so that everyone can see it. And because I've said it, he has to do it now.
Yay.
I don't mind
So-
putting together the slides and then sending them just so you don't have to make them. Just put
I've
them in.
really realized how much better I am just editing. Both your Left 4 Dead video and my Duck Game video are better than all the podcasts.
Pretty much.
Including
It's
what
short
this one's gonna
videos.
But I mean, you said that earlier, and you said that as well, Connor. And I think that's the thing of, I'm not saying it's not true, but it's true at the moment. But that's because editing is something that talking on a podcast or doing good commentary on a video, that's something that takes your time, unless you're
Well,
Michaela.
You've got to be funny.
But if
That's
you're
the
normal
thing.
and if you're not just naturally good at that shit, then you got to do it a few times and listen back to it and watch it and figure out what you weren't doing that makes it good enough to stand out, you know?
That's the thing. It's
I
definitely a
think it's
different type of
easier
humor.
to edit something together and look at it and know that you've done a good job on it and everything like that. It's harder to figure it out when it comes to essentially being a performer.
yeah.
But that's the
Also-
thing with these. Go, Karita.
Also, when you do a podcast or something, you have to like, I guess, be funny on the spot. And don't you dare.
Yes.
Well, when you're editing, sorry, I just had a stroke. When you're editing, you have like time to look at it, to decide what you want to do with it, and kind of
Oh, for sure.
work on it for more.
When
Yeah, for sure.
that first Dead Island vid I did on my phone, that was 40 minutes of playing and trying desperately to be coming up with something to say every, and you don't manage it. Editing the thing, I spent about 6 hours on it.
Yeah.
Just being because you've got that time to be very, and to sit and consider. You're not having to improv, which is what a lot of this is.
It's definitely a different type of humor because just for my video, that was 40 minutes of just kind of pretty standard gameplay. Nothing interesting happened in that, and I was happy to throw it away kind of thing, but I figured I'd go through it, try and put something together just to see what I could do with the editing software. And it ended up being quite funny just because you can take 40 minutes down to a minute and 50 seconds of something that's actually funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that one moment, that one thing, you think, yeah, that I can use. You should
That's
just
the thing.
start recording everything you do and start looking over everything and just being like, yeah, I'm not going to put that whole video out, but that moment.
Yeah, well, the entire video, like, that I shot, it was pretty standard gameplay. At the very end, I said the starting line, which is that Karita takes everything, and that's just because she'd taken, like, 3 things literally 30 seconds before
So
that.
fucking nonchalant about it as well. There's a thing here, I'm taking that. There's also this, I'm taking that. Taking this. It's not some kind of cackling, I'm taking this, so you can't
Yeah.
have it. It's just like, yep, mine. Dibs,
Also, every
taking
time
that, this
I
one's
call
me.
something out, there's
You're like a cat.
yeah, but every time there's something I call out something, there's a bit of a pause because I'm looking at everyone's like things below
Inventory.
this. Trying to figure out what you guys have, what your health is at. If you're going to need something, I'm going to give it to you, and I'm waiting if someone says I want it. If you say that, then I'll let you take it. But no one said anything.
Unless it's
so
a
I'm
pipe
like,
bomb.
yeah, exactly.
I will
That-
say that is half true. as someone that actually played the game, I did edit out a bunch of times that creators offered stuff up and then said I'll take it. There was definitely a couple of those, but there was definitely a lot of moments where creators like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this. Screw you guys. Especially with the chainsaws.
Yeah.
The chainsaws were terrible. Every single time we go past one, she's like, yeah, I've revved mine once, so I may as well just take another one.
See, I have.
You didn't take it.
I wanted it, you just took it before I could get
Oh,
there.
you should have said that.
The chainsaw sucks anyway. The chainsaw is the worst zombie weapon bar none.
Yeah, for anyone that's ever actually used the chainsaw in real life, those things would be terrible in a zombie apocalypse because they jam up immediately. And they take about half an hour to set up.
Like fuel, which defeats the whole purpose of it being a fucking.
If you slide along the
weapon.
ground with a chainsaw, it'll drive you forward.
No, it
And murder
doesn't.
me.
I spent enough time working with chainsaws. Just every time I see them used in a movie, I'm just like, it doesn't do that.
Well, the other thing
how
with
they work.
chainsaws is that by their very design, most of the time when you're going to be chopping something properly with a chainsaw, it drags it towards you.
Yes.
It bites in and it drags it towards you, so you're dragging zombies towards you using it in that manner.
I mean, shit, you use chainsaws on stuff that you're pretty confident isn't going to move. If
Yeah.
you're cutting the trunk of a tree, that's pretty, until you cut all the way through, it's not like... It's exactly what you're saying, Connor. You try shoving a chainsaw into something that is trying to move towards you. So they're pushing into your chainsaw, you're trying to push into them, they're trying to change position. It's going to go horribly wrong very, very quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
chainsaws by their very design, because I do a bit of... my job involves a lot of gardening and stuff, so I've had to use a chainsaw. They're actually designed where you're meant to cut with the bottom side of it, and it pulls it in, and there's a little guard there that'll hold the tree or whatever you're cutting, so that it stays where it is, so that
Yeah, you
because
got
it's
the
dragging
teeth.
it towards you. So yeah, not a good idea.
No. But it's also the other thing that that chainsaws do, just by the nature of the action, this thing's spinning round and round, is that whatever you're cutting with it, the chain tries to pull it into the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Which is why you're either getting sawdust, which kind of gets filtered through it, and comes out, or you're, depending on the type of wood you're cutting, how sharp your chainsaw is, a couple other factors, you're getting large chunks of wood that they can't fit in there. So it's
Yeah.
okay, it just kind of bounces off, like you're saying, where you've got those teeth that to hold things that you're cutting. They also help deflect shit away from getting inside your chainsaw. If you're
What about
cutting
brain?
flesh, like you cut into a shoulder joint, or you're trying to cut into like their gut, that's going to be pulping the shit out of their body, and all of that gunk, all of those bits of sinew and gore and everything is just going to flood into your chainsaw. The chainsaw's going to stop working after about 4 seconds after you cut into your first zombie. It's just going to stop. And to get it working again, you need to take the side off with a spanner and clean it out. And you ain't got
And that
fucking
takes
time for
quite
that.
a while.
Yeah.
How
it's
about
just-
a frying pan then?
the tools that you fucking use to maintain a chainsaw would be better weapons than a chainsaw.
Pretty much. I was actually watching a video today by the Mythbusters, funnily enough, on their YouTube channel, and they were comparing an axe, like a fire axe or a wood axe kind of thing, to a gun, and it turns out that the fire axe is actually pretty effective in a zombie kind of situation, apart from the fact that it wears you out really quickly.
It's a
Yeah.
bit heavy. Hammers are good. You just want a fucking club. If
I
you get
personally
a
would
good
want some
scaffold-
decent joggers, so I could just run away.
No, what you need is some people in your group who are slower than you.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter if you can outrun the zombies. You just need to outrun them.
That is one of the funniest things that I love when I hear about people that talk about zombies, is that everyone's got this zombie survival plan. But the thing is, 99% of these people that have got these zombie survival plans are going to be the zombies.
Yeah. Oh, and the first 24 hours. I mean, fuck it. The first 2-3 hours, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
The most desperate moment is the first, because zombie fiction never does this. It always, not always, there's a few exceptions. You nearly always pick up 10 days, couple of weeks, a month after the actual start of the outbreak, because writers really fucking struggle, and I've tried this, really fucking struggle to actually explain how it can go global. before it
Mainly
can be
because
stopped.
it can't.
Well, this is the thing. There are a lot of really good arguments why it couldn't, and it's really hard trying to come
Yes.
up with a counter to those arguments. So most people don't fucking bother trying. And
One
just
of the
got
things that
skips
does an actual really good job of not necessarily explaining how it goes global, but of going over the start and the spread and all that sort of stuff is the World War Z book.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
books-
movie also kind of goes into it a little bit, and I love that movie, but it's nowhere near as good as the book. But the book, for those that haven't read it, it's pretty much 3 or 4 sections, I think, which it's basically like the first quarter of the book is the start of the zombie thing and like how it starts and all that sort of stuff. And then it progresses through the different stages of the zombie apocalypse, and it's a really good book. But
it's also
that does a good job.
It's written as a bunch, like, each chapter is written from a different person's perspective, a different part of the world.
Yeah, I think there's
So,
been
like, a
like
different aspect
20
of it.
different stories. Like it's a bunch of mini stories, but it tells an overall story. It's a really good book.
Yeah, no,
That
it's
sounds
a
cool.
brilliant read. Recommend it to anyone. But
I've heard the audiobook is really well made.
I've heard this too, but I don't have it, so I can't vouch for it. But because zombie fiction always skips that outbreak moment and comes to 28 days later waking up in a fucking hospital, Walking Dead did exactly the same thing. It's they never cover the most. You imagine what that first half an hour, the first 30 minutes, when let's say it happened, and it's blaring out in the news, it's going mental on social media. Zombie apocalypse is happening right now. What the fuck do you do? You've got to
Why
make.
are you typing that?
I don't. Okay, well now that it's pointed out, I'm just going to say it. How long are we doing this for?
I don't know. An hour.
Shall we continue with
coming
the
up on
zombie
an
stuff
hour.
and wrap it up after?
I think probably wrap up the zombie stuff in a minute, and probably fit in a game if you want to do one of them, because otherwise I'm going to go on forever about zombie stuff.
I don't think like we should go for too long. An hour is probably a good length because we do want people to actually watch this. So if it's 2 hours, it might be a bit too much.
Yeah.
Can we wrap this up?
Yeah. What the fuck are we
Please.
doing?
We should.
Because what else?
I feel like we
fucking
should just
hate
cut
everything.
this. We should just kill this at the zombie argument and just edit everything else out.
Oh man, zombies. Am I right? Okay, podcast done.
Beautiful.
Should we say thank you?
Great.
No, fuck those guys.
Thank you for listening to the Earworm Podcast number 1.
Fuck you all.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, me.
Connor is such a kid.
Love you.
No, wait, thank me.
Sucker.
Bye.
And we're done.